Do y'all want to come in with the song or do y'all want to end it with the song? That's cool.
End it with the song.
You gotta have intro music.
Nigga, you ain't never done a podcast before in your life.
Wrong answer.
Hey, I'm doing good, you know what I'm saying? I've been looking out after myself, taking good care. Hey,
Get that green shirt.
come on, get you together, I'm telling you.
So look, I appreciate it.
Hey, I'm feeling okay. Woke up on the right side of the bed, y'all. Tell me how you doing. Hope all is well, and you keeping it moving, yeah. Hey, can't nobody tell me nothing. Feeling like $1 billion. I just copped a new attitude, about to pass it on to you. Catch it, hey, put you up on game, lead you to brighter days, yeah. Put the brother in the shade, put in work, come on and walk with me, walk with me, just walk with me, I'm walk with you, let's walk.
Greetings. Mic check 1 2 1 2. This is the Agency Podcast brought to you by the African American Male Wellness Agency. Excited to be here today. We are going live for our first inaugural, whatever you want to call it, podcast, not just of the new year, but of ever. My name is Mark.
Oh, my bad. We're not doing that.
Hey, I was looking for the air horn.
We ain't got that one yet.
My name. We are not at that production level. We're still uptown. We're not quite Bad Boy Records yet. My name is Marlon. I'm the executive director for the African American Male Wellness Agency. Whatever that title means to you is what I am. We have the team. Introduce yourselves. Let's start with Malcolm.
Yo, I'm Malcolm, and I just do all the behind the scenes stuff. So,
What do you do for the agency, though?
oh well, all the behind the scenes stuff. But I lead. I lead the Fatherhood Initiative. I lead the Fatherhood Initiative. I'm over all the social media. Now doing some of the production stuff. All the behind the scenes stuff.
Shout out to Black Dads.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Hello, everybody. My name is Perry. There's 2 Perrys here, so you can just call me Perry the Goat if you get confused on which one is which.
Facts.
That's way weird.
I am the national program manager. I work on, of course, we do the African American Male Wellness Walk. Everyone knows us for the Columbus Walk, but we have walks in 17 other cities, and I lead the efforts in those other markets. So working on expanding and growing the agency outside of Columbus, Ohio.
You sound so excited about it.
I am. I'm dope at it too.
You are. I'll give you that. Definitely dope at it.
Perry described it like he was reading a menu.
Right. He was like, we
I will
got
have
today's
the-
special.
I'm Carlton Weddington. I am the
Yeah.
program coordinator for Real Men, Real Talk. That is our mental health program. I also work cities outside of the state of Ohio, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., and I do have one in Ohio. That's Cleveland.
That was the most.
Did you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I did. Y'all was talking while I was introducing myself. You want me to go again?
Please, what's your name, sir?
Oh, my goodness. Hey,
This is a podcast, not a Zoom meeting, sir.
hey, look, y'all talked. Carlton Weddington. I'm over Real Men, Real Talk. That's our mental health program. I also oversee cities outside of the state of Ohio. That is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Washington, D.C.
Ooh, this is a journey.
Oh man.
This is a journey.
Go ahead, Dana.
All right, everybody. I'm Dana Ashley Lavender. And I am a program manager for research. And I do so much more than that. Volunteers, national and in the city of Columbus. Over our opioid awareness program. Also led the Black Impact 100 program, among a bunch of other things. So I'm all things necessary. Whatever needs to be done, I'm gonna do it.
Dana just stole my whole like thing. I say I do all the behind the scenes stuff. She's like, no, but
Definitely.
But she really
I'm
does,
executing
though.
I know,
that.
right?
You was doing what your
Hers
sister
is
said.
more factual.
That's crazy.
I think you described the job that you want to do.
oh,
Shade on
That's a
shade.
real thing.
that came
said-
from the executive director.
He said you should look up to me is what he said.
Right.
Hey.
I'm gonna study under you.
That is not what I said.
This podcast gonna be pretty dope, y'all.
Perry, talk a little bit more into the mic, bro.
Well, if I wasn't muted, it says
I'm like
I'm
you want to be
muted.
here.
You're not
man.
muted. Yeah, you coming
Let me
through
scoot
here.
up a little bit. I just
Yeah,
said this
yeah.
podcast gonna be pretty dope.
It's gonna be dope. So we're 50 days out from the walk.
We're 50 days out from the walk, man.
Where's the
Oh,
end?
yeah, we gotta do our own.
We don't have an air horn. We gotta.
What?
Yeah, we gotta.
press anything else. Yeah.
We can clap it up.
Hey, 50 days.
So we're 50 days out from the walk here in Columbus, Ohio. That's really our signature walk. Pre-COVID, PC, 2019, we had 30,000 people. A very intense event, very exciting. Perry and Malcolm, this is your first actual in-person walk experience. I know you guys came on last year when we had the Freedom Walk. That was kind of like just walking in your hood.
Kind of,
Because
because
Yeah, you weren't
not to
there for
cut
it,
you
right?
off, but
you weren't here yet.
no, I was actually a sponsor of the walk a few years back. So
Oh yeah.
I've been 2017, 2018.
But were you there for
I've
setup
been there
and
for
cleanup?
setup, for cleanup. Not to get too far into the weeds, but one year when it rained like crazy, we sponsored the kids area when I worked at a former employer, and I had to tear down all the kids area by myself because everybody left when it rained.
Hey,
It's terrible.
Shout out to
So I've been there for all of that. We'll get
Salute
there
to
at 4 in the
Perry.
morning.
Take that back.
drive a U-Haul.
Shout out. Shout out to Perry.
Perry has really been here.
Volunteering year.
Well, it's my first walk.
Malcolm's first walk, but it's different. I mean, Perry's been there, but just to talk about, leading up to the walk and everything that goes around it. The funny thing is about the walk, and even here in our own agency, is people just see the walk and just think it just comes together the day of. I think the unique part is all the work that we start planning for this in November. And so people don't typically see the 10 months of work that you put into it. Really what they see is the second Saturday in August and everything that goes in, and from 7 a.m. until noon. And once cleanup begins, really people just leave, and that's the end of it. I did want to pose a question to the group. What is the one thing that you're looking forward to? We can keep it to Columbus or just for all the walks. Like, what's the one thing you're looking forward to for these walks?
I'll start. I think, breaking the record. I feel like every year the walk gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And with it being 30,000 in 2019, this being the probably the first huge event after COVID, kind of, it's going to be crazy. And with us looking to have 40,000 or more people in one spot, all these Black people having a good time, I think it's going to be amazing. So just the number and breaking that record is what I'm most looking forward to.
Dana? Behind the scenes, Dana?
I'm thinking.
All right.
For me,
Behind the scenes, kind of Malcolm.
I'm from Columbus. I love Columbus, and after working here, I learned that this is the largest Black event in the city, and I didn't know about that. And I think that the thing that I'm most excited about is helping to grow the imprint of the walk here in the city, because I think it's really dope. I think the initiative is dope. And so it's kind of piggybacking on what Perry said in terms of like breaking the record, but also cutting through the clutter, if you will, and letting people know that like, the walk is a real force here in the city. Because it's like right now, it's like the best. That's what I'm excited about.
But I thought it's the best. It's the top or the leading Black health initiative or health event nationwide.
Is it? See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's the largest Black.
I believe it's nationwide. Yeah. So shout out to us on that.
I think it's fire, man. We do a lot of like really dope work, and I feel like we do a lot of the work and we're just working. And like what you were saying, Marlon, people don't really know about what's happening behind the scenes of what we're doing. So I'm also excited about this podcast for that reason.
I think to your point, Malcolm, is that what you just said, the best kept secret. That's a real thing, because a lot of people still do not know what the walk is. You know what I mean, or have not heard of the walk. And it's crazy when you think about it, because when you know about it, you're like, oh, I see everybody I know here. But then you see somebody like a week after or a couple months after, like, oh, I never heard of that. Or you talking to them about what we do, where we work at. I never heard of it. So it is like the best kept secret, and it is like important for us to expand it even more.
So that's that. We'll work together.
I think for me, it's really seeing outside of Columbus that you have the same activity and the same enthusiasm outside of the state of Ohio. I mean, Charlotte, those of us who've had the opportunity to be outside of the state, Charlotte, DC, Atlanta, Detroit is probably going to be good. I believe Memphis and Jackson are going to be fun. So for me, it's the things that go outside of Columbus. I mean, we're used to Columbus. This is where we thrive and we spend a lot of focus, but you're going to see the same type of enthusiasm and focus and energy in all these other cities as well.
I think the funny thing is, it is like the best kept secret. And I say that because it's kind of like hiding in plain sight. So it's not like a secret society, but it's kind of like something that goes on and some people just genuinely don't know about it. I think the way I got introduced to the walk, and for those of you that don't know, there's a couple other walks that are focused on or targeted, I should say targeted towards African Americans. So you have the Jesse Owens jog, that's down over at OSU. And then you have the UNCF walk, which is typically in October. Nowhere near the size of this, and nowhere does it really focus on health screenings. But I do remember my first kind of like recollection of the walk is 2018, and seeing this is like when Instagram was really like kind of first getting popping, like seeing people on Instagram like posting, and I'm like, bro, like it's really raining like crazy in Columbus, and everybody's at this walk run thing. And I think the thing that kind of stuck with me was the green shirts and everybody just being in green shirts, but just getting poured on. I didn't necessarily associate it as the African-American Male Wellness Walk and identify it and be like, oh, I want to go work there. It was more so like a situation like, okay, I've seen this on my story a couple of times. Like there's people out here at this walk and it's pouring. And meanwhile, I'm in DC and it's fine. And it was just funny to see that as like, oh, like this is the walk that everybody was talking about. Like I saw it, but I didn't identify it. So like that's what I say. Yeah, nobody left.
Nobody.
And definitely hiding in plain sight, for lack of a better term. I think the part that I'm most excited about is really just to see people come out in both in Columbus and around the country being off a year. Like we were super hot and then like COVID hit. And so now it's kind of like coming back out and it's like, all right, you know, you had a fire album, but then, you know, you couldn't make an album for a year. Now you got to come back and duplicate it and show people that it wasn't a fluke. Or like sports, you had a good year, you averaged 20 and 10. Now you got to come back and average 25 and 12.
Oh, so we the Browns?
Definitely not the Browns.
Definitely not the Browns.
I'm laughing like I know what you're talking about.
But just the growth of the agency is the dope part. So I think we're gonna hit those numbers, and I think we're gonna expand the awareness of not just the walk, but the agency and everything that we do. Really starting here in the next 50 days.
Big facts.
And I think before we move on, I think it's important, and Marlon, if you want to touch on it a little bit. I'm sorry.
My favorite part of what I was looking for.
You had a chance. You was just thinking.
I will cut out in like 2 minutes because they just text me.
We're talking about the walk, but I think it's really important to say like what it's for or why we do the walk, and that point. But go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I'll make mine quick. It's a collection of everything that y'all saying, but there is nothing like this event being in person. So I miss it. I miss my people. So that's overall. Like we did it last year, Walking Your Hood. We added like a virtual aspect to it or component. But there's nothing like being in person. It's just an experience that is like no other. And y'all will find out, day of was gonna be like, but I just miss my people.
Yeah.
Our people.
Our people.
So to paramedic, good point. People just hear African American Male Wellness 5K Walk and Run. And like much like me, like I said, I didn't identify, what it was really about. It's more than a walk and run. The walk and run piece is more so just like a carrot, a way to draw people in. Really what we're out there walking and running for, and actually what we're looking to accomplish is health screenings. Don't have access to health screenings or primary care physicians. So what we try to do is really alleviate that barrier by providing free health screenings, by providing access to medical professionals in a very engaging way. We use music, we use, arts, culture, all those good things to kind of bridge that gap for Black people. And I think the most important thing is that we're actually providing a service, and whether you have insurance or you don't have insurance, everything is free. And so there's no reason why somebody can't come out and get their health checked on and eventually, hopefully, get referred to a primary care, physician. So we don't want this to be like I'm never going to the doctor, never going to follow up again. We want to create like a healthy habit of going to your physician, being active and knowing your numbers, which is our mantra.
Yeah, I started getting my numbers checked at a walk. I hadn't gone to the doctor for like 4 or 5 years, and I came to the walk and gave me a screening, and I was like, oh, I gotta eat some more fruit and vegetables.
Reality hit.
I need water right now, please.
And to piggyback on that, Marlon, I think it is also about showing others how to live a healthy lifestyle. I mean, all of our activities are to engage men and their families in doing something positive and healthy, lifestyle oriented. And that's important too. It's not just coming out to get a health screening. It's not just coming out to run or walk 5K. It's that camaraderie. It's that socialism, to socialize with others who are doing these positive things in the community. And it is not always seen in the media. And so that's important. That's a plus that we want people to see. When you have 30,000 predominantly Black people in one area and it's positive, nobody's getting shot, nobody's fighting, that's a success in itself. And so we want to duplicate that around the country, and we want the overall community to see that we are doing positive things for our city and our community.
Yeah.
And it's lit.
It is lit.
Super lit, super fun.
It's a fun event, bro. And this year,
entertaining too. We have entertainment out there. It's popping.
This year is going to be even more special because it's Black Men's Health Week. So it's not just one event, the walk. It's like we're going to be having stuff going on that entire week. And so, if anybody, well, obviously, if you're at this point and you listen to the podcast, we want to thank you for coming and walking with us as we start, potting for the first time as an agency. We want to just like tell our story. We want to talk about the walk. We want to get you guys excited about the walk, but also like what Marlon was saying, the walk itself is a carrot to go and get people to be health screened, but we're also much more than a walk now. We have programming that happens all year round. So we're going to be talking about that type of stuff as well. And we're also going to have some special guests that come on the podcast. Can't tell you exactly who it is, but you're definitely going to want to tune in, and we're going to record new episodes at least once a week. So yeah, make sure that you guys are subscribed. If you listen to this on YouTube or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So yeah, and then also write us. Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about, any questions that you might have. We want to be a resource for our community. We have access to a lot of medical professionals, health professionals, just general wellness professionals. So if there's things that you guys got questions about, then send it to us and we can get those to the right people. So,
hey, Malcolm, before we jump off, I got a shameless plug. I know we've been talking about the walk August 14th. However, we do have one big event that's coming up.
Carlton, you keep on going in and out. Just come in.
Can you hear me?
No, come in here.
To the
come into the conference room. Into the pod room.
Into the pod room.
He's coming to the pod room. Hey, we have a lot of fun here at the agency too. Like, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And so we're gonna try and bring some of that energy onto the podcast as well. So we're not gonna be super buttoned up.
Y'all gonna get to know us.
Yeah.
Personality.
Our real personality.
I mean,
but not too much personality.
We can't release it all.
Oh man! All right, Carlton's back, joined with us. Go ahead.
What's up, family? So I wanted to make a shameless plug. Real Men, Real Talk, July 15th. That's a Thursday, 7 p.m. We're having 4 dynamic men. The one first being Dr. David Marion, who is the national president of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. We have Bubba Wallace, the NASCAR driver. We then have Royce da 5'9" out of Detroit, who is a hip hop artist and now has a foundation that deals with mental health. And then former NBA All-Star and now the coach of the Memphis Tigers, University of Memphis, Penny Hardaway. This is Real Men, Real Talk, safe space for men to talk about their issues, what's going on in their life, their mind, their families, etc. We want you to register now at realmenrealtalk.info. That's once again Thursday, July 15th, 7 p.m.
Yeah, and we're probably going to have a full episode to talk about the Real Men Real Talk event and all the Real Men Real Talks that we've been having, because I think that that's really important. A lot of people just know us because of the walk, and like I keep on saying it, but we have so much more that we do at the agency, and I think that you guys could stand to learn about some of our initiatives: mental health, fatherhood, mentoring, financial wellness, obviously the regular wellness. Am I forgetting anything?
Me, research.
The research,
Mentorship.
The data. He said mentorship.
yeah, and actually there's a video. I'll show it at the end of this podcast, so if you guys are watching it, then you can see it. But if you're just listening, you'll have to listen to it. But we're doing a lot of really fun stuff over here. So
Definitely.
yeah. Is there anything else anybody wants to say? Anything that you guys want to talk about on
No,
our
I
first
think-
episode?
This was an introductory. We just wanted to introduce ourselves, let people know what we're gonna be doing, and we're gonna be hollering at y'all on a weekly basis.
I think we definitely want to
Dropping
plug our
bars.
Instagram and our Facebook.
Oh yeah, big
So,
facts.
of course, Malcolm's the guy that runs that. But it's AA Wellness Agency on Instagram, and it's the African American Male Wellness Agency on Facebook. So make sure you follow us on those platforms. I think that's what they're calling them things now. And yeah, we're gonna have some good stuff coming down the pike, and we're excited. So if you want to be involved in any of the work that we're doing, you know, the best way to reach out to us is on Facebook, direct message or whatever. Or is that the best way, Malcolm? Let me make sure.
Yeah, it all comes to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, direct messages. If
if
wanna
you
be
guys send up
involved.
a smoke signal, you know what I'm saying, I'll see it. So
AAwellness.org website.
I wish you guys could see Dana right now. She keep on
No.
rolling her eyes at me and giving me side eyes. and
No.
everything. You can hear it in her
No.
voice.
if you guys, we love feedback. We don't take it personal. We just, you know, it's constructive criticism. So
No, we gotta get the people what they want.
I take it
Exactly.
personal. I'm
Gotta get the
sensitive.
people what they want.
Ralph
fact.
Tresvant.
he don't even know what that means. He don't
I
know
do
who that
know what it means.
He was not born when that song came out.
That's crazy. Yo, they always give me,
is. Give me one line from the song.
One line.
you know,
Exactly. Exactly.
but I know what he is.
Hold on. You give me one line from the song.
I know the whole song.
Sing it.
Sensitive.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, no, don't sing it, please
I was
don't.
about to. I was just gonna say sensitivity.
Sang it falsetto. You had the falsetto voice on him.
Hey, I know a little something. Listen,
You said
I
one
was
word.
born in 90, but I was conceived in the 80s. So I'm really an 80s baby. I'm not a 90s baby.
That's
Like,
not how it works
That's
at all.
how-
Not at all.
Definitely not
That's
how it
not
works.
how it works
I
at all.
identify
That's not how
with the
science
90s
works.
Babies. I don't identify with them. They're different.
Hey, and if you guys are still listening, we're gonna have Mr. Gregory on here, and
Uh-oh.
he's gonna have giving the people what they want. And I'm gonna try and talk to Marlon about being able to do like some giveaways and all that type of stuff. So
We should probably
Walk merch.
kind of promote
merch.
when Mr. Gregory's going to be on here because y'all are going to. I mean, y'all want to tune in for us, but y'all gonna really want to tune in for the founder. He is a character.
I would
To
say
say the
that we would
least.
do it live. I don't know if we can do it live.
Let's
Y'all
do
gonna
it.
want to be.
He's
here
gonna be
for that.
like,
y'all gonna love
"Hey,
the agency even more. Then
let's
y'all gonna be like,
do
oh,
it."
they really a black agency. You know what I mean? Like listen. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the African American Male Wellness Agency is black owned. We do work for black people,
Facts.
and we unapologetic about it. And we also are very unapologetic about who we do it for and why we do it. And we do it for God. We feel like we're doing God's work. So those are two things that our founder and owner always mentions, is that you have to do stuff for black people and for God. So we get paid to do it. So we're excited about that. And yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
this is definitely a black organization for sure. So, yeah, you know what it remind me of? I
And
know
Perry,
we're supposed to be-
you like the
Carlton
king of
just be
darkness.
talking over me.
You said that one more
Y'all know
time.
y'all can't interrupt
Darkness.
Right. I can mute y'all on here. You see what I'm saying? Like
Darkness.
Hey, look how short Carlton is next to Malcolm.
Oh
It's just
You have to
crazy.
edit
Like,
this out, man.
how do you look short on the video?
bro, that's
bro?
crazy. See it? He's just miniature.
Oh, why are you
bro.
laughing at that?
He's
But what
petite.
I was going to say is that when I first came and worked here and I went through orientation, when I was just learning about the vision, this is what I'm talking about when I say that it's like the best kept secret here in Columbus. I was like, yo, this feel like what I hear the Black Panthers just like back in the 70s and whatnot. And it's just dope knowing that something like that is still happening in 2021. It has been happening for the last 17, 18 years. And like, you know, when we're out in the events, people from the community, they be coming up to us and be like, oh yeah, this happened to me. And so now my life is like this or whatever. It's really like cool hearing those.
We gotta take care of our people.
Success story.
Malcolm
Yeah,
trying to get
success
the
stories.
government to tap our blog already.
Gee, you know, we're
Black
recording,
Panthers.
right?
Why they gonna report it? What do you do?
He's because he said Black Panthers.
Oh,
Listen,
it's all right. We be fine.
right. Mr. Gregory said, well, anybody got anything else that they want to say?
Nope.
Any
We
other
just
promo?
introduced
You want to talk about the Narcan?
Free Narcan training on Monday. No, not
What's
Monday.
Narcan?
Tuesday. Okay,
Yeah, what is
Narcan
Narcan?
spray is a prescribed medication used to save the life of someone who is having an opioid overdose emergency. Even if you are using your opioids as prescribed, so a lot of deaths occur because people don't think that they're using their medication incorrectly. And
Misuse.
they have misuse of it, and they unfortunately it can be fatal. So Narcan spray is used to prevent that from happening. So what we're trying to do is, while we're raising awareness about the opioid crisis in our communities, because in Franklin County, overdose deaths increased by 35.6% in 2020. So it's only going up from there. We're not only trying to raise awareness, we're trying to prevent overdose deaths by teaching people how to use Narcan. So we have a free Narcan training Tuesday. It's virtual at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's you can register at itsourproblem2.com. And while you're there, take the pledge. Take the pledge to continue to fight opioid epidemic in our communities. So,
And I just want to add one thing. I know we keep saying we're going to wrap it up, but this is important. So if you're listening, I'm going to drop a nugget real fast for anybody in the community. Share this with your people, with your family, with your friends. There's a thing out there called the Good Samaritan rule. And what that means, and I learned this after I started working for the agency and we were doing the opioid education and things like that. And what that means is if someone is having an overdose, whether you are out doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, you got some stuff on you, whatever, you got drugs or whatever case may be. If someone is having an overdose and you call for help and you're trying to save their person's life, you are exempt from any charges, any being arrested or anything like that. It's called the Good Samaritan rule. So if something is happening to somebody and you like worried because you may have something on you don't want to call for help, whatever case may be, you are exempt due to the Good Samaritan rule because you're trying to save that person's life and you calling for help. So don't feel like you don't want to call or get help or whatever the case may be if someone's going through something like that, because there is a rule in place, a law in place for that scenario if you are the one that's calling for help or trying to get help for that person. So
that's
just want to
dope.
put that out there because
Yeah,
that's something that a lot of people don't know about.
We're just trying to encourage people to save lives. Join our movement.
Yeah, nah, that was really good, man.
That's good.
You guys are natural. It's like
Didn't
you
know
actually
that.
know what you're talking about, man.
Of course.
It's beautiful. You was
Gotta know.
Kind
naming
of.
off those stats. I'm like, yo, I got stats too. 73%.
For another episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into it, but I do want to steer everybody to the Proud Dad Pledge website, prouddadpledge.com. In short, and we'll have a full episode about fatherhood. But in short, 73% of our kids aren't going to kindergarten ready for kindergarten. That means that they don't know how to count to 20. They don't know their ABCs. They can't identify shapes and colors, and that's a problem. So what we're saying is for dads to go ahead and get involved in their kids' lives, to be active with them, to cut down on screen time, and just really work with them, because we know that when kids have their dads active in their lives, then they turn out better. So go take the Proud Dad Pledge at prouddadpledge.com. And yeah, we'll talk about that more later. Carlton, you already talked about your program, right?
We're good to go.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, we're going to play our walk video just so that you guys can learn a little bit more about the agency if this is the first time that you have ever listened or encountered us. And yeah, like I said, subscribe to this channel. Wherever you're listening to, know that it will keep on coming back to the same place. So yeah, with that being said,
50 days.
yeah, 50 days or 50 days from the walk.
50 days.
7
49 and a
weeks.
half now.
Right. That's crazy.
Peace.
And y'all keep on talking while I queue it up.
I'm like,
I'm
what's
like,
going
dang, is
on
it
here?
queued up? What's going on here?
Yeah, give me a second.
And we didn't even scratch the surface of all the programs that we do, you know. But basically, at the end of the day, Black men are dying earlier than every other race, every other gender, and we're trying to provide solutions for that. It's not normal. We can't normalize us dying earlier. We have to provide solutions. We have to make lifestyle changes, us and our people around us as well. So that's really what we do, why we do what we do.
Yeah, and we're about to do a really big webinar at noon. I think that's the reason why our connection is a little keep on going in and out. So it may not stream correctly. So actually, just look forward to this coming on to the next episode of the agency. We're going with the agency, right? That's what we're going to call it?
The agency.
That's the agency. All right, we'll talk to y'all later.
Peace.
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking out after myself, taking good care. Hey,
We get that green shirt, man.
come on, man. I'll get you together. I'm telling you. Let's
Good
go.
luck, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, I'm feeling okay. Woke up on the right side of the bed, y'all. Tell me how you doing. Hope all is well, and you keeping it moving, yeah. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Gonna pass it on to you. Catch it. Put you up on game. Lead you to brighter days, yeah. With the brother in the
Shade, yo.
put in work. Just walk with me. I'm walk with you. Let's walk.
Let's walk, yeah, let's walk. More work, yeah, let's talk. Get out your running shoes, hit a couple jumping jacks. Do a lot of stretching like you running track. Get ready to march, ain't no coming back. We've been suffering too long, we need something back. We gotta stand for something, or we fall for it. They don't understand the stand, so we gotta walk for it.
Hey, put you up on game. Lead you to it. Put in work. Come on and walk with me. Walk with me. Just walk.
Take a couple steps with me.
Walk with me.
Yeah.
Walk with you. Let's walk.
Let's walk, yeah, let's walk. More work, yeah, let's talk. I gotta ride for mine, raise my fist, hold it high. Yeah, the revolution will be televised, so you need to pick a side, grab the picket signs. Cause ain't no switching sides, we fight to stay alive. Either we stand for something or we fall for it. They don't understand the stand, so we gotta walk for it.
Hey, put you up on game. Lead you to brighter days. Yeah. With your brother in the shade. Put in work. Come on and walk with me. Walk with me. Just walk with me. Walk with you.